Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another night of Bible basketball. Welcome to another night of Bible basketball. And we have an announcement that we would like to make. Our Bible basketball is going to be moving to Tuesday night. We're going to move our Bible basketball to Tuesday night because, you know, Thursday night football season is back, and a lot of people are watching football on Thursday night, Monday night football. So then I like watching football too. And so we're gonna get them open up that Thursday night so people can watch their favorite team. Cause I definitely like my favorite team, the Bears. All right. So we're moving to Tuesday night. So welcome to another night of basketball, Bible basketball, as our summer camp comes to an end. This summer league is coming to an end, and got to get back to the NBA season, the NBA of Christ. And so our season is coming back. We've had a chance to pick our players and everything. And so we're going to get ready to get started again with another season. So this will be the end of our summer league, and we'll be going into our NBA season. All right. Hello, Bishop Granberry. God bless you this evening, my brother. Hello to my beautiful wife. All right. You see, this Thursday night, some people already watching football tonight, especially what's his name, Patrick Mahomes is playing tonight. And so a lot of people like to watch him. They not even be from Kansas, but a lot of people like to watch him. So you ready, Bishop? All right. Right now, just you and the First Lady. We'll give another minute for some more players to get on in here, and then we're going to get started with our Bible basketball. We're going to get started with our Bible basketball. Hello, Pastor White. God bless you this evening, and we're praying for you and your family. Bereavement never feels good, but we always remember that whatever God does, it always works out for our good. And God gave you, Pastor White, a little message from him when he sent it by Uncle James' daughter to say he's proud of you. That's God looking down on you, like God was looking down on Job, like we talked about this morning. And so that's a great thing when you get a message from a man of God that God is proud of you. Keep up the good work, my brother. You've come a long way. And like that song said, I've come too far to stop now. Hello, Sister Kathy Carter. God bless you. Y'all be sure to join on Kathy Carter every Friday night. If you ain't got nothing to do, join her here on Facebook, as she have different people coming in to her Friday night podcast here on Facebook. Join her. She also on YouTube too. All right, so if everybody's ready to get started, we're going to be dealing with Jesus today. We're going to be dealing with Jesus today. And also, I want everybody to remember, we're moving to Tuesday night. Next week, we'll be back on Tuesday night because we was on Tuesday nights a while ago. So when football season leaves, then we'll go back to Thursday. So right now we're moving to Tuesday night to get out of the way of our football fans. Me being one of them. I'm a Bear fan. So if they playing on Thursday night, I don't want to be canceling things. So all right. So y'all ready to head down the court. All right. So let's get ready to head down the court. And so here comes our first question. It says, who baptized Jesus in the Jordan River? Was it Abraham, B. Peter, C. John, or D. Moses? Who baptized Jesus in the Jordan River? A. Abraham, B. Peter, C. John, or D. Moses? Who gonna head down the court first on this one here? And there goes our first lady taking off, and she said it was C. John the Baptist. Down the court she goes with John the Baptist. Is anybody in agreement, or does somebody see something different? Who baptized Jesus down in that Jordan River? And here comes Sister Kathy Carter, said it was John the Baptist. And good evening, Sister Glenzie Commons. God bless you this evening. Sister Glenzie said it was John, and she passed it to Pastor White. Pastor White passed it on down the court back to Sister Glenzie, who got it stolen by the bishop. The bishop went the other way and said it was Abraham. Down the court, the bishop goes with Abraham, but here come Pastor White, steals it from the bishop and passes it back to Sister Glenzie, and she passes it to Sister Alice Common. Good evening to you, Sister Alice. Down the court she goes, she passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to the first lady, back to the pastor, and he passes back to the first lady. Is this a slam dunk? Was it John the Baptist? That is correct. Way to slam it. Way to slam it. Excellent show of skills. It was John the Baptist. All right, let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. It says here, our next question. All right, that was a slam. Our next question says, with Mary and Joseph being the earthly mother and father of Jesus, which of the following was a brother of Jesus? A. Simon, B. Matthews, C. Gabriel, or D. Bartholomew? Which one of them was a brother of Jesus? Simon, Matthew, Gabriel, or Bartholomew? Who gonna head down the court first on this one here? And there go Pastor White, jumped out first and said it was Matthew. Matthew was a brother of Jesus. Down the court, they go with fallen Jesus. Which of the following was a brother of Jesus? And Pastor White said it was Matthew. And looked like he gonna got to go by himself because everybody else is scared to go with anybody else. Down the court, the pastor goes by himself with Matthew. Sister Kathy give a face. She said she don't know what to say. She thinking. All right, now go to bishop. He goes with the pastor. Down the court, the bishop and the pastor going with Matthew. Is they gonna have to slam this and on? But oh no, here comes the first lady out of nowhere and say it was Simon. Down the court, she goes with Simon. What is it here? And here comes Sister Hope, my homie, classmate, Sister McDaniel. Down the court, she said it was Simon too. Down the court, she go with Simon. But she said she thought it was James. Yeah, but he ain't on here. All right, down the court, they go with Simon. Pastor's laughing. And so perverse lady sticks with Simon. Down the court, her and Sister McDaniel goes with Simon. Sister McDaniel goes with Simon, but here comes Sister Alice Common. She steals it and goes back with Matthew. Down the court she goes with Matthew, but our Sister Glenzie Common steals it and said, no, it was Simon. Down the court she goes with Simon. And the first lady said, I really don't know. All right. Sister Glenman is sticking with Simon, and the first lady is sticking with Simon. Down the court, does anybody see anything different? As we go with Simon, is this a slam with Simon? But here come the bishop, steals it back and said, no, I'm going with Matthew. Down the court, the bishop goes with Matthew. He's going down the court, speeding, but here comes the first lady and steals it back from the bishop. Is this a slam? Is this a slam? She goes between her legs. Is somebody gonna help her out before she lose the ball? Is this a slam with Simon? That is correct. It is Simon. Way to slam it on that one there. All right, that one had us all over the place. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. Amen. It was Simon, Sister Glenn, who warned Pontius Pilate not to crucify Jesus. Who warned him not to crucify Jesus? Was it the chief priest, B, his wife, C, Caesar, or D, the elders? Who warned Pontius Pilate not to crucify Jesus. And there go Pastor White, takes off down the court with his wife. Down the court, he going with his wife. He goes between his legs and behind his back. And he got it stolen, going doing all that playing around with the ball. And Sister Glenzie stole it from him with Caesar. She's headed down the other way with Caesar. But here come the First Lady, steals it from her with wife. And she passes it back to the pastor and passes it back to the First Lady. They said it is wife. Down the court, they steals it. And she passes it back to the pastor. They say it was his wife, the one who told him not to crucify Jesus. They stole it from Sister Glenzie. Down the court, anybody else see anything different? Here come the bishop. He steals it and said, no, it was the chief priest. Down the court, the bishop go, but he got it stolen by the First Lady. First Lady come back and steals it from him and said, no, my brother, it was his wife. It was his wife who told him not to crucify. And she go between her leg behind her back. All right, don't be too careless with that ball. And she's spinning it around and everything. And she passes it to Pastor White. As they head down the court, they're going with wife. All right, and here comes Sister Kathy Carter, gets in there and says she believes it is the wife. Sister come and say, I'm going to stick out of this one here. Down the court, they go with wife. Is this a slam dunk? That is correct. It was his wife. Way to slam it on that one there. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. Way to slam it. It says, what did Jesus give to Judas as a sign that he was to betray him? What did Judas give to Jesus? Man, they got that question. What did Jesus give to Judas as a sign that he would betray him? No. Well, I don't know what kind of question that is. Oh, okay, yeah, I see what they saying now. This is here right now. Here they're sitting at the table. They're sitting at the table. And so right now Jesus said something as a sign. I remember now. All right, what did Jesus give to Judas as a sign that he would betray him? A, honey. B, milk. C, olive leaf. Or D, bread. All right, I got it now. All right, there go Pastor White, got it too. He takes off down the court with bread. Down the court, the pastor goes with bread. That's the sign that he gave him when he took her that bread. All right, down the court, and the bishop got it too. The bishop said it was bread. Down the court, the bishop goes with bread. Is this a slam dunk? And he passes it to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the First Lady. And there goes Sister Kathy with her picture of some bread. All right, go Sister Kathy. And she passes Sister Glenzie, who passes it back to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the pastor, who passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Is this a slam dunk for Sister Glenzie and the rest of y'all? That is correct. It was bread. Way to slam it on that one there. All right, let's head on down the court with our next question. There comes Sister Alice with bread, and Sister Cassandra, good evening to you. Good evening to you all with bread. Our next question said, after Jesus rose from the dead, how long did he remain on earth before ascending to heaven? A, 14 days. B, 40 days. C, 90 days. D, 7 days. How long did Jesus remain on earth before ascending to heaven after he was risen from the dead? Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? 14, 40, 90, 7. A, B, C, D. Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? How long did Jesus remain on the earth after he had ascended from the dead? And there goes Sister Cassandra said it was 40 days. Down the court she goes with 40 days. She's heading down the court. Does everybody see that? And she passes it to the First Lady with 40 days. Down First Lady and Sister Cassandra go down the court with 40 days. Does somebody see something different? And they passes it to Pastor White. Pastor White passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passed it to the bishop. The bishop passed it back to Pastor White, who passed it to Sister Glenzie. Back to Pastor White, who passes it to the First Lady. Down the court, back and forth. They passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie go between her leg behind her back. Is this another slam? They said slam it, Sister Glenzie. Is that correct? That is correct. And there come in Sister Kathy at the last second for the slam with her for 40 days. All right, way to slam it on that one. All right, here's your next question. It said, Jesus said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." To which disciple? Which disciple did Jesus say that to? A, Peter, B, Matthew, C, Philip, or D, Judas? Which one of those disciples did Jesus say that to? Peter, Matthew, Philip, or Judas? Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here in this hot sweater when heat summer league? And there goes Sister Glenzie, takes off down the court first with Peter, and she passes it to the first lady. Back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court she goes with Peter, and she passes it to Pastor White, and Pastor White passes it to Sister Kathy. Sister Kathy passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the pastor, and she passes it, and the pastor passes it to Sister Cassandra. Sister Cassandra heads down the court and passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to the first lady, back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Down the court they're going between each other, back and forth between the pastor and Sister Glenzie. Down the court they go. All right. Man, y'all are moving down this court between Sister Glenzie and the pastor, and they all going pretty fast. That's some fast moving. Here comes Sister Alice. God bless you. She got in on there, and they said, slam it. Is that a slam with Peter? That is correct. It is Peter. Way to slam it, Sister Alice, with Peter. All right. Let's head on down the court with the next question. Way to slam it. It said, what was the first miracle Jesus performed? What was the first miracle he performed? A, he stopped the storm. B, dirtying bread. C, water into wine. Or D, cured leprosy. What was his first miracle? Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here in this sweltering heat? You better stop and get some water. Don't work yourself out. And the pastor takes off, and he said it was turning water to wine. Down the court he goes, and he passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to the first lady with water to wine. Down the court she passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Cassandra, who passes it back to the pastor to Sister Kathy. Water to wine. She passes it to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the bishop. The bishop passes it back to the first lady, and first lady passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court, is this a slam? Is this a slam with water to wine? That is correct. That is correct. Way to slam it on that one there. All right, here comes our next question. It says, how did Jesus respond to Herod's interrogation after he was turned in by Pilate? After he was turned in to Herod, how did Jesus respond to Herod's interrogation after he was turned in by Pilate? How did he respond to the interrogation? A, happiness. B, sadness. C, condemnation. Or D, silence. All right, how did he respond? And man, look at y'all taking off down the court, and there comes Sister Glenzie. Took off right away and said it was silence, and she passed to Pastor White. Pastor White passed it back to Sister Glenzie, say he was just silent. He was just silent. She passed it back to the pastor, back to Sister Glenzie. Back and forth they go, and they passes it back to Sister Cassandra. Sister Cassandra passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to the first lady. Down the court she go between her leg and passes it back to Sister Glenzie. And she passes it back to the first lady, who passes it back to the Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the bishop. Bishop, is this a slam? Is it a slam? That is correct. Way to slam it. He was silent. He said not a word. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. Next question. All right, Sister Alice got in on that one. And so the next question is, who was a synagogue ruler that asked Jesus to heal his daughter? Who was the synagogue ruler that asked Jesus to heal his daughter? What was his name? A, Linnaeus. B, Samson. C, Jairus. D, Pontius Pilate. Who gonna take off down the court? And there goes Sister Glenzie Commons taking off right away, and she said it was Jairus. Down the court she go with Jairus. Anybody see anything different? What was the name of the synagogue ruler that asked Jesus to heal his daughter? Down the court she go between her legs and she passes it to the first lady. First lady go between her leg and got it stolen by Sister Cassandra, who said, Pontius Pilate. Down the court she go with Pontius Pilate, but Pastor White said, no, it was Jairus, and he go between his legs and passes it back to the first lady, who got it stolen by the bishop. The bishop came back and said, no, Pontius Pilate. Down the court he go with Pontius Pilate, but here comes Sister Alice, stole it from the bishop. The bishop came back and stole it, but he got it stolen from him by the pastor. Pastor says it was Jairus, and he passes it to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to Sister Kathy, back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the first lady. Down the court, is this a slam? She goes between her legs, behind her back. She is determined, and she passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Is this a slam? Is this a slam dunk? Was it Jairus? That is correct. Way to slam it. It was Jairus. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. Next question concerning Jesus said, what body of water did Jesus walk on? What body of water did Jesus walk on? It's a laughing. I said, breathe. Yeah, y'all had me going. Y'all had me going. All right, what body of water did Jesus walk on? Was it A, the Dead Sea, B, Sea of Galilee, C, Jordan River, or D, Pool of Siloam? What body of water did Jesus walk on? All right, and here come the first lady, said it was the Sea of Galilee. Down the court she goes with the Sea of Galilee. Does somebody see anything different? She passes it to the pastor. Pastor go between his leg behind his back and passes it back to the first lady with Sea of Galilee. Down the court, and she passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it back to the pastor, back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to Sister Cassandra. Sister Cassandra passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the bishop. Bishop passes it back to the pastor, who passes to Sister Glenzie, and she go down the court and passes it back to the first lady, who passes it back to Sister Glenzie. She go between her legs and passes it back to the first lady, and she passes it back to Sister Glenzie, and they said slam it. And here comes Sister Alice, stole it from everybody and said, no, it was the Jordan River. Go, Sister Alice, you go. Let her slam it. Y'all gonna let her slam it with the Jordan River. Down the court she going with the Jordan River. She's going in for the slam. Is anybody gonna catch her? Pastor White said slam it, but here come the first lady, said no, it was Galilee. First lady stole it and said Galilee, and she passed it right away back to Sister Glenzie. Is this a slam? It was the Sea of Galilee. All right, good save at the last minute. It was the Sea of Galilee. All right, y'all, get y'all a quick water break as we get ready to come to our second half. Get you a quick water break. We're going to still be dealing with Jesus, but this time it's going to be fill in the blank with Jesus. So get y'all a quick water break. We're going to move fast. We're going to move fast. So get you a water break because it's hot out here. This is the summer league. So we don't want nobody falling out here. So get you a quick water break as we get ready to head down the court in this sweltering heat. Summer is coming to an end, like I said. And we're going to be getting off of Thursday nights, and we're going to be moving our Bible basketball starting next week to Tuesday night. So the summer league is coming to an end, and we're moving to Tuesday night, getting out of the way of this football on Thursday night. All right, are y'all ready to head on down the court with our questions for the second half? Here comes our questions for the second half. Let's get ready and let's go. Here we go. All right, first question said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one blank. So then they are no more twain, but one blank. Who gonna start off with that one here? Are they one family? B, are they one life? C, are they one flesh? Or D, are they one order? Who gonna start off down the court on this one here? And there go Pastor White, starts off down the court with one flesh. He go between and behind his black and passes it to Sister Glenzie, who passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Cassandra. Sister Cassandra head down the court and pass it to the First Lady. Back to Pastor White, back to the First Lady, to Sister Glenzie. Down the court, they're going back and forth between the First Lady and Sister Glenzie. And they pass it back to Sister Cassandra. Down the court, they're going with flesh. Down the court, and here comes Sister Alice coming in. See, she said flesh too. And she passed it back to the First Lady, who passed it back to Sister Glenzie. Is this a slam dunk with flesh? Is this a slam with flesh? All right, she passed it to the pastor, and the pastor passed it right back to Sister Glenzie, and they said slam it. They said slam it. Slam it. All right, is that a correct? That is correct. Flesh is correct. Way to slam it on that one there. All right, let's head on down the court with our next question. Next question said, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be blank. All right, they shall be what? A, found, B, filled, C, merciful, or D, cornered. Blessed are they which hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be blank. Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? And there goes Sister Glenzie. She know them Beatitudes, and she said they shall be filled. Between her legs, she passes to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Cassandra, and Sister Cassandra passes it back to Sister Glenzie to the pastor. Until the pastor passes it back to the First Lady. Down the court they go, and she passes it to Sister Glenzie. Down the court they go, and she passes it to Sister Alice. Down the court, Sister Alice passes it back to the First Lady. She passes it to Sister Cassandra. Down the court, she passes it to the pastor, and the pastor passes it back to the First Lady. Down the court they going back and forth between the pastor and the First Lady. Is this a slam dunk? Is that a slam dunk? Sister Cassandra says slam it. Is this a slam? Is it a slam? That is correct. Filled. You shall be filled. All right. Way to slam it on that. Let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a blank man, which built his house upon a rock. What kind of man built his house on a rock? I will liken him a wise man, B, rich, C, poor, or D, strong. I will liken him unto what kind of man? Who gonna take off down the court on this one here? If you could build your house and listen to Jesus saying, First Lady took off and she said, I liken him to a wise man. Between her leg behind her back, and she passed it to the pastor. Pastor passed back to the First Lady, who passed it to the Sister Kathy. Sister Kathy passed it back to the First Lady, who got it stolen by Sister Cassandra, said it was a rich man. I would like him to a rich man, but she got it stolen back by the First Lady, who passed it right away to the pastor. Now Sister Cassandra got with him. She got with him, said wise man. She passed it back to the First Lady. Down the court, the First Lady passed it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passed it back to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie. And she passed it to Sister Alice. Down the court, back and forth between Sister Glenzie and Sister Alice. Down the court they go. All right. Is this a slam dunk with wise? I will compare him. He is likened to a wise man. Is this a slam? As Pastor White and Sister Glenzie go back and forth? That is correct. I will liken him unto a wise man. All right, let's head on down the court with the next question. It says, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, blank. For you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, what? A, debtors, B, believers, C, sinners, D, hypocrites. Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here in this sweltering heat? And there go the First Lady, takes off down the court with hypocrites. Down the court she go between her legs, and she passes it to the pastor. Pastor and the First Lady go down the court, goes with hypocrites. Down the court, and they passes it to Sister Glenzie with hypocrites, and she passes it back to the pastor with hypocrites. Back and forth, the pastor and Sister Glenzie go with hypocrites. There they go back and forth between the pastor and the First and Sister Glenzie with hypocrites. Man, y'all coming in pretty quick. with hypocrites, back and forth. The pastor and Sister Glenzie with hypocrites, and here comes Sister Alice with hypocrites. Down the court she goes with hypocrites. Does anybody see anything different as we go head down the court? Is this a slam dunk? They said slam it. Is this a slam with hypocrites? Down the court we go with hypocrites. Does anybody see something different as the clock seconds tick on the clock? We're gonna slam it with hypocrites. Is this a slam? That is correct. It is hypocrites. Way to slam it on that one now. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. Next question says here, it says, and thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy blank, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. All right, who gonna take off down the court? Is it with all thy A, heart, B, might, C, body, or D, will? Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy what? Heart, might, body, will. Who gonna take off down the court? And there goes Sister Cassandra with heart, and she passes it to the First Lady with heart. Down the court they go with heart, and they passes it to Pastor White with heart. Down the court the pastor goes, and he passes it back to the First Lady, back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Carter. And Sister Carter passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Cassandra. Down the court she goes, and she passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to the pastor, and the pastor passes it to Sister Alice. Down the court she passes it to Sister Glenzie, to Sister Alice. Back and forth they going down the court with heart. All right, and she passes it back to the pastor. Is this a slam with heart? Is this a slam with heart as we head down the court? Man, y'all is doubling up on me pretty fast there. They said slam it. Is this a slam with heart? That is correct. Way to slam it with heart. Flying 360 slam with heart. All right, here's your next question. Your next question said, render therefore unto blank the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God. Render therefore unto blank. Who? A, God, B, heaven, C, man, or D, Caesar. Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? Render unto who? What? God, heavens, man, or Caesar. Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here in this sweltering heat? And here go Pastor White takes off and said God. Down the court he go with God, and he passes it, and he said pass it down the court between his legs to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Carter. Sister Carter passes it to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister who got it stolen. She said man. Sister Cassandra said man. Down the court she goes the other way with man. Is anybody gonna catch her? Pastor White caught her right quick and stole it back in with God, and he passed it to got it stolen back away by the First Lady with Caesar. Man, y'all going back and forth, and she passes it to Sister Glenzie down the court. Sister Glenzie got it stolen again by God. Render unto therefore unto God the things which be God. Oh man, as they going, Sister Glenzie stole it back from the pastor, but she passes it to the First Lady, who passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court they're going back and forth with Caesar, and now the pastor got with him. He sees it and he passes it to Sister Glenzie. All right then, and he passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie. All right, back to the First Lady, and back and forth they go. Is this a slam? Is this a slam with Caesar? That is correct. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar. All right, ready to slam it? Let's get ready to head down the court with the next question. Next question says, watch it and pray that you enter not into blank. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Watch and pray that you enter not into what? A, evil. B, temptation. C, mortality. Or D, sin. Watch that you enter not into what? And there goes Sister Glenzie, takes off down the court, and watch you don't enter into temptation. She heads down the court with temptation, back and forth between her legs, and she passes it to the First Lady. First Lady passes it to the pastor, back to Sister Glenzie. Down the court, she passes it back to the pastor, who passes it to Sister Cassandra. Sister Cassandra passes it back to Sister Glenzie. Back and forth between her legs, she passes it to the pastor, and pastor passes it to Sister Carter. Sister Carter passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it to the First Lady, who passes it back to Sister Glenzie, who passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to the pastor, back to the First Lady, going back and forth, and then he passes it to Sister Alice. Down the court, Sister Alice goes and she passes it to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Cassandra, back to the First Lady. Is this a slam with temptation? Is this a slam with temptation? Is it a slam? Back and forth they go, and the pastor gets it, and he passes it back to Sister Alice. Is this a slam with temptation? That is correct. Way to slam it. Temptation. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. Next question says, put up again thy sword into his place. For all they that take the sword shall blank with the sword. All that they take the sword shall what with the sword? A, protect. B, worship. C, live. D, perish. Who gonna take off down the court? All that take the sword shall blank with the sword. What? Protect, worship, live, or perish. Who gonna take off down the court? And the First Lady took off down the court with perish. She takes off and she passes it to Sister Cassandra, back to the First Lady, back to Sister Cassandra, who passes it to the pastor. And the pastor passes it to Sister Glenzie, back to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie, back to the pastor, back and forth. They go down the court between Sister Glenzie and the pastor. And they pass it to the First Lady, back to Sister Glenzie, back and forth between them and the First Lady. Back and forth they go down the court, and they pass it to Sister Carter, who passes it to Sister Alice. Sister Alice passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to Sister Glenzie. Down the court, back and forth they go, and they say slam it. Is this a slam with perish? Is this a slam with perish? That is correct. Way to slam it. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. Way to slam it. It said, my blank is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Jesus said, my what is sufficient? My what? Strength. B, work. C, grace. Or D, life. Who gonna take off down the court first on this one here? That's an easy one. Y'all don't need no much of a choice on that. My blank is sufficient for thee. Y'all ought to know that. And if you don't know no other scripture, you better know that. My blank is sufficient. There go the pastor and the First Lady took off down the court with grace. Down the court they go with grace, and they pass it to Sister Cassandra with grace. My grace is sufficient. All right, ain't no much of a choice. Y'all supposed to know this one here. My grace is sufficient for thee. Back and forth they go between the pastor, First Lady, and Sister Cassandra. And there goes Sister Ann Stigall. First Lady Ann Stigall gets in and says, my grace is sufficient. Y'all know this one here. Is this a slam on this one here? My grace is sufficient. All right, there comes Sister Glenzie coming in there and saying, my grace. Is that a slam? Is this a slam? Back and forth, Sister Alice and Sister Glenzie coming in for the slam. Is that correct? That is correct. My grace is sufficient. All right, let's get ready to head on down the court with the next question. It said, next question said, beware of false blank, which come to you in sheep clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. All right, be aware of false what? A, prophets. B, commoners. C, idols. Or D, farmers. Beware of false what? Because they come in sheep's clothing. All right, who's going to take off down the court? Who's going to take off down the court? What's that, Sister Cassandra? Witness. All right, there go First Lady say it would beware of false prophets. She passes the Sister Glenzie back to the First Lady, who passes it to Pastor White. He goes between his legs and passes it to First Lady Ann Stigall, who passes it to First Lady Neal. Back and forth the First Ladies go down the court with beware of false prophets. All right. I see what you're trying to say. Back and forth the First Ladies go with false prophets, and they pass it to Sister Allen. Sister Allen passes it back to the First Ladies Neal, who passes to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie passes it to Sister Cassandra. She passes it back to the First Lady, who passes it to the back and forth between the First Ladies. Down the court they go, and they say slamming. Sister Glenzie coming back in for a slam. Is this a slam? And there come the First Lady back in, who passes it back and forth to the First Ladies, who passing it to Sister Glenzie. Sister Glenzie comes in for the slam. Is this a slam? And Sister Ann Stigall at the last second. That is correct. That is correct. Way to slam it on that one there. I did a little something on y'all. That last questions, I didn't show no multiple choice. Y'all prove that y'all know the word of God. That was some good play there. That brings our Bible basketball to an end. Y'all played good in this summer league. Good action. Great show of skills. Way to slam it. I took away those multiple choice and y'all still was getting it. That's what we want to do. Learn the word of God because the word of God is our power. Thank you all for coming in and being a part of this Bible basketball. Remember, next week we're moving to Tuesday night. Next week we're moving to Tuesday night so we can watch our football on Thursday night football. Patrick Mahomes is playing right now, and me and Pastor White want to see how good that boy is doing. All right, thank you all. You all have a good night. Good game. God bless you, Pastor White, and we're praying for you and your family. Thank you for stopping by and playing with us. Thank you to my beautiful wife. She said boo to football. All right, good game, good game. All right, thank you, First Lady Ann Stigall. God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. Sister Alice Cummins, God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. Sister Glenzie Cummins, God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. Sister Cassandra Alexander, God bless you. Thank you. Yes, enjoyed you too. Thank you all for stopping by. All right. God bless you all. Sister Kathy Carter, God bless you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you all. Thank you all. If I miss anybody, charge it to my eyes and not my heart. If I miss anybody, God bless you all. Thank you for a good game. Thank you for a good game. Thank you all for stopping by. Sister Kathy, all of you, Sister Alice, Sister Glenzie, Sister Cassandra, First Lady Ann Stigall, First Lady Neil. God bless you all for making this a wonderful night. See you next Tuesday. See you Tuesday night for another round of Bible basketball. God bless you. Remember to trust the process and keep God first. Thank you to you all. God bless you too, Sister Glenzie. All right. Thank you. All right. Have a good night, everyone. All right. We are out of here.